Welcome back everybody to another episode of Spider Willy Adventures. I've got a hike coming up, so I thought I'd go through what you need to take when you go hiking.
Yes, I'll come back to you. Then I'll ask, what have we done under the sun?
So I just wear a pair of pants which you can unzip, and you can wear a pair of shorts. They're a lightweight pant that dry quick. Just a lightweight shirt, you can roll it up at the sleeves. Once again, lightweight, breathable. I have invested in a very good waterproof jacket. This is a North Face one. It's completely waterproof. On the inside it's got an inner which you can unzip. So if you don't want to wear the inner and you just want to wear the waterproof part, if it's not so cold but you want to keep dry, I can do that. I will also use the inner at night time around camp. Just unzip that from the jacket. That wasn't cheap. But if you're going to go into tough conditions, you do need a good waterproof jacket. Took a poncho in the past and I froze. So that's a must. There's the waterproof pants, which are optional, whether you need them or not, whether your jacket would be good enough and whether you're happy just to get wet down below. Depending on the conditions or the forecast, will depend on whether I take those or not. So I stay in the shirt and the pants during the day, and then at camp at night or bedtime at night, I'll have a thermal bottom and a thermal top. Get out of the wet clothes if it's been wet. Wear those into bed. Depending on how cold it's going to be. At camp, if I can just get away with wearing the thermal top and the thermal bottom, and if I need a bit of warmth at camp, I can just take the inner from the waterproof jacket and wear that. If it's going to be really cold, just got a very light pair of tracksuit pants and just a flannel top. Well, I'm going to Tassie soon, and you don't know what the conditions might be, so we might need to take those. Just 2 pairs of jocks, 1 spare, 2 pairs of hiking socks, 1 spare. Tend to wear one for one day, put on the dry ones the next day, try and dry out the pair that's all sweaty for the next day. Nice to put on a dry pair of socks. Beanie might be required at night time. Also got the hat that we wear. My hiking tent's only got the one layer. It hasn't got the outer fly that goes over the top, so it can get dewy. So on the inside, if you're knocking the tent too much on the inside, you can get a bit wet on the inside. Might take a lightweight tarp to put over the top of it. Ideally, I prefer another hiking tent. To buy a good hiking tent's about $700 or $800. So I don't know if I'm going to invest in that just yet. And I've got my sleeping bag. It's just a hiker's lightweight one. This one's only rated to 0. Depending on the type of hiking you might do, you preferably want one that would go under 0. But once again, that sleeping bag, my good hiking sleeping bag, is about $700-800 as well. So I've got that one. And if it is going to be really cold, I've got an inner liner for it. So it'll knock that from 0 maybe to -4 or -5, which will certainly help. I have got a new mattress, which is an X-Peg mattress. The other mattress was about half the size. Your hiking mattresses are rated in what they call an R rating. If you get a hiking mattress that's like 1R or 1.5R, if the ground's really cold, that coldness will come through. So if you're going to go hiking and it's going to be really cold, you need at least a 4 or a 5R so that the coldness of the ground doesn't come through to you. I think this is like a 7 or an 8R. I can lie this mattress on snow and the coldness of the snow won't come through. So it is twice the size. My other hiking mattress was only about that size, but it was only about a 4.5. This one's a lot bigger, a lot more comfortable. Getting a little bit older, I wanted a bit more comfort, so we've gone the X-Ped. That's a 7 or an 8 or a 9R, that one. Little hiking pillow. When I get to camp, just like to switch into the old Crocs. Get the boots off is nice. One little towel. That's the little tarp to go to the tent. You need your shit paper. A little bit of hand sanitizer. Sleeping at night time, I like the eye goggles and the earplugs. For my little first aid kit, just carry one bandage, one emergency blanket, the blister band-aids, a couple of band-aids, a little bit of tape, scissors, cut the tape, and that's about the extent of the first aid kit. I do suffer from cramp a bit, so I need to carry a bit of Powerade. I don't take the container, I just put it into a plastic bag like so. Carry a little bit of rope. Sometimes at night time you might need to string up your food from the animals, so that comes in handy for that. Just a couple of cable ties, just in case the pack breaks down in any way, you need to tie it up somehow. Fisherman's friends, if I'm coughing at night, your toothbrush, little toothpaste, bit of floss, one sunscreen, bit of Bushman's. Suffering with cramp a bit, I've got the magnesium. So I've got my water bladder here. I used to put the Gatorade, Powerade, whichever, into this. As much as I rinse this out, you still seem to get mold and everything inside there and you just can't get it out. So now, when I have the Powerade, Gatorade, whichever, I'll just have that at lunchtime. At dinner too, if I feel that I need it, and I'll just mix that up in my little cup, and I'll keep the water bladder just for water. And then usually at lunchtime or dinner time, I'll chuck a magnesium into some water, and I'll just have that out of the cup. The water purification tablets. If I'm getting water out of a tank that's been gathered, some of the hiking areas will have some undercover area. I probably won't add the water purification to that, but if I'm getting water out of a creek or something, I'll probably add the water purification tablet. Depending on your stomach, I'm a little bit of an iron guts, so it depends on if you would add that every time or not. Moving along, I've just got my little case, cutlery all in one. I carry a little cup of tea. I've also just marked on there the mils, 300 mil, 200 mil. For the hiking meals, you've got to put in a certain amount of mil of water. So I've measured what they are and put the markings out in this, so I know how much water to add into my hiking meals. Also carry a little bowl, like to take some tuna noodles, that sort of thing. So just use the bowl for that. Potentially could get away with just the cup. Plate fits in here too, but I find I don't need a plate, so you're always trying to save weight when you go hiking. You think things are very light, but every small thing really adds up when you go hiking, and you're trying to keep your pack as light as you can, so walking is a lot easier. The hike that I'm going on in Tassie coming up is probably going to be the longest hike I've ever done. It's going to be 8 days, 7 nights. The longest I've ever done is 6 days, 5 nights. So 8 days, 7 nights, I think the pack is going to be really chockers when we start, because we're going to carry a decent amount of food. I don't really have breakfast. I'll just make a couple of cups of tea for breakfast. Might munch on a muesli bar or protein bar or something like that. I'll have one of those for breakfast, and then maybe as we're walking out of camp, I might just munch on one more. So 1 or 2 protein bars or breakfast bars, whatever you like to eat, that's what I'll have for breakfast. Only got 3 there, I need to get a few more of those. Then I've got my little cooker. Just got the little gas bottle, little cooker goes on top. Pot on top of that, that's how I boil my water. This is probably the cheaper version. You can get the Jetboil one all in one, but they're very good. You just got to make that investment, a couple of $100 to get one of those. This was bought for me a long time ago, so I'm just making my way with that. Take your little head torch, probably a spare battery for that. I've got the aluminium foil that goes around here just to keep the heat in when I'm boiling the water. Got your rubbish bin bag, you've got to take all your own rubbish with you. Probably just take one gas bottle when we go. One's empty, almost empty. Then I've got a variety of hiking meals. So these are just the backcountry ones. I think there was a sale on, might have been mid-year sales or something, and I bought all these then. Chicken carbonara, roast lamb, honey soy, lamb fettuccine, roast chicken. And with these ones, you just add whatever mils of water it tells you to add. So boiling water, 500 mils is what I add to this. So I just undo that, add the water, give it a bit of a stir, seal it back up. 15 minutes later, all the dehydrated meal is just popped out, and that's what I'll have for dinner. For lunch, I'll probably just take some small wraps, and I'll just take some cheese and salami. So I'll just have that in a small wrap. And just to add to it, I found these backcountry smoothies are very good. We've got banana and berry. So I'll have my wrap with some salami and cheese, and I'll probably have a smoothie just to add to it. The sleeping bags and everything, when they go into the pack, if the condition's going to be wet, you need to put these in a bag. So I just find the Aussie disposal bags, probably where I got the meals from. Sleeping bags and things will go into these bags before they go into the pack, just so that they keep dry. You definitely need to keep your sleeping bag and your clothes and everything dry. So the clothes, sleeping bags will go into just a couple of these bags. Keep them dry. Then I've just got my gloves because I wear poles. Use the gloves. I find pushing on the poles takes a lot of the weight off your hips and your legs. So instead of just working your legs really hard, you can work your whole body. Got the knee supports, dodgy knees. Got the gaiters, the full length gaiters, snake protection. Where we're going, the track's walked a lot, so I don't know if I'll need those. These are more just the ankle ones, not so much gaiters, but these stop the stones from going into your boot, and you always have it a stop to take a stone out or a bit of bark out or something. They come in quite handy for that. Little back support. Got our pack, which we've had for a number of years. It's a little bit worn out, but it's still going okay. And all of that you've got to get in here. So that's what we're going to do now. We'll show you it all packed up. You're trying to achieve. The last hike I think I went on was 5 days, 4 nights, and we started off with what I would call a dry pack. So dry pack is everything without your water, and we got it down to about 17 kilos. And then I carried 2 to 3 kilos of water with me, so that was bringing up the pack to 19, 20 kilos. I think because we're going for 7 nights, the extra food that we're going to take, I'm hoping that my pack is at least no more than 20 kilos dry, and then I've got to carry 2 or 3 litres of water with me when I go, bringing up the pack to 21, 22 kilos, which is going to be a really heavy starting pack. But as the hike goes on and we start eating the food, the weight of the pack will drop down 2, 3 kilos at least. Let's get all this packed up. Okie dokie, our pack is all packed. A couple of things I forgot to show you was you might also carry a power bank and a cord. That'll be in there somewhere. It's a must that you have a good pair of shoes when you go hiking. So these are a pair of Merrells. They're very good. Something with good traction. How low or high you want it. I like a bit of ankle support, so I don't go the full height. I go the halfway one. Also give you another little tip. In my early hiking days, I added an extra inner sole to the shoe. I thought that'll make it nice and soft when we go hiking. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but I added it on top of the one that was there. And what happened was it brought the heel of my foot up higher, and then the top part of my heel was rubbing on the inside of the shoe, and I ended up with blisters. So if you want to change your inner soles, change them, put in some nice gel ones, make it softer or whatever, but don't add it to what you've already got. That's an absolute no-no. I learned that the hard way and blistered up about 4 days into that hike. So they're my lightweight hiking shoes. They're a ripper, those ones. They weren't cheap. $280 or something. Got those on sale. And this one also I didn't show you before. This is just a bit of foam. That's what I lay the hiking mattress, inflatable mattress on, just to protect it a little bit from any stones or anything underneath. That's the pack all packed. I have my tent and that on the outside. I can't fit that on the inside. So when I first packed the pack, I first put in my water bladder. So fill that up with water, stick that in. That sits there, it hasn't got anything in it at the moment. Then from inside here, it's the way I access my pack. Right down the bottom, I put the sleeping bag, the mattress, the liner. I put that in a plastic bag right down the bottom. Then I go into the food, I suppose. And then right up top here, you need to have it accessible. I've got the waterproof pants and my waterproof jacket. Anything that you might need accessible, you want to have that up the top. I've got a compartment this side, another compartment on top which I access from here. That's where you'll have your toilet paper, band-aids, anything like that you might need as you're going. You don't want to have something in the bottom of your pack that you might need as you're hiking along. So that's why all the sleeping stuff for me goes right at the bottom, and then the other stuff towards the top. In the sides here is where I've got two pockets, one on this side, one on that side. That's where I put the clothes in the plastic bag. On each side, the clothes in the plastic bag, and then I have my Crocs there when I get into camp. They're nice and easy to access. On the front, I've got a little pouch either side, so one side I have sunscreen, one side I have the Bushman's. And that's where we're at with my pack. You just get to learn how your pack and how it works for you. This is the setup I found that works best for me. And you learn that over time. The rest of this stuff, pants, the clothes, the shoes I'll be wearing, all of that I'll be wearing. And that's the pack. Popped it here on the scales with me on. And this at the moment is actually 17 kilos dry. So without the bladder having any water in it. Still got to add some more muesli bars. A few packets of 2-minute noodles, some wraps, cheese and salami. So that is probably going to add 1.5, 2 kilos. So I reckon I'm about 19 kilos dry. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's stayed under 20 kilos. Then I'll have 3 kilos of water, 2 or 3 litres of water, 2 or 3 kilos, taking me up to 21, 22 kilos for a 8-day, 7-night hike. So it's not too bad. It's still a lot of weight to carry. I'm in the middle of training for this hike, and hopefully that gives you an idea of what you need when you go hiking. You don't want to take more than what you need. We used to take a lot of other little bits and pieces, and over time we've managed to get rid of those little bits and pieces, and all those little bits and pieces that you really don't need can add up to 1 or 2 kilos. If I knew the weather was going to be good, some of this stuff would also come out, the extra layer of clothes for night time and that sort of thing. And you could even make that lighter once again. So hopefully this has helped you if you're planning to do any hiking. Like, subscribe, Spider Willie Adventures. See you out there. And just the last one was a safety beacon. If you're going hiking by yourself, you have to carry one of these. If you're going in a group and there's reception all the way, you may not have to, but always a good thing to have is the emergency beacon.